The average American will earn over $2 million in their lifetime and die with almost nothing. Not because they didn't work hard enough, not because they made bad decisions, because the system that holds their money was never built to make them rich. This video will show you exactly how banks profit from keeping you exactly where you are. Banks have one of the most brilliant marketing strategies in human history. They present themselves as your partner, your ally, the institution that helps you build a future. They give you a savings account. They offer you a mortgage. They hand you a credit card with your name printed on it. And it feels like they're doing you a favor. But here's what they never explain in the brochure. A bank is not a charity. A bank is not your friend. A bank is a business. And like every business, it exists to extract maximum profit from every single customer. Right now, the average savings account pays 0.4% interest per year. Inflation runs at roughly 3 to 4%. That means every single year, your money sitting in a bank account is losing purchasing power. Quietly, automatically, without any alarm going off. You think you're saving. The bank knows you're shrinking. Let's talk about something most people never calculate. Not monthly payments, not minimum balances, not the number printed on the statement. The real number, the amount of money silently leaking out of your life, year after year, without ever building a single asset. The average household carries thousands of dollars in revolving debt, and most of them don't feel panic, because the system is designed to make debt feel normal. A few hundred here, a payment there, a little interest every month. It doesn't feel dangerous, but that's exactly why it works. Because when pain is small, but permanent, people stop fighting it. And once debt becomes routine, you stop asking the most important question. Who is actually getting rich from this? While the bank pays you 0.4% on your savings, it charges you between 20 and 29% on your credit card balance. Let that number sit for a moment. 29%. If you carry a $5,000 balance on a credit card at 24% interest, and you make only minimum payments, you will spend over 17 years paying it off, and you will pay nearly $7,000 in interest alone. You borrowed $5,000. You returned $12,000. The bank made more from your debt than you originally spent. This is not an accident. This is the product. In 2023, Americans paid over $130 billion in credit card interest and fees. $130 billion in a single year, transferred from ordinary people directly to financial institutions. That's the machine, and you're the fuel. Let's make this painfully real. The average household carries around $6,000 in credit card debt at any given time. At 24% interest, that's $1,440 per year, just in interest payments. Not toward freedom, not toward ownership, not toward wealth, just to keep the debt alive. And that's the genius of the machine. It doesn't need to crush you all at once. It just needs to keep you slightly underwater for as many years as possible. Because when millions of people are trapped in small permanent debt, banks don't need your success. They only need your consistency. But credit cards are just the beginning. The largest wealth extraction tool ever created is the 30-year mortgage. Here's how it works. You buy a house for $300,000. You put down 10%. You borrow $270,000 at 7% interest over 30 years. Your monthly payment is around $1,800. Over 30 years, you will pay $648,000 total. You borrowed $270,000. You will return $648,000. The bank doubles its money from your home, the home you thought you owned. And here's the part that destroys most people. In year one, of every $1,800 you pay, roughly $1,575 goes to the bank as interest. Only $225 reduces what you owe. You are renting money and calling it ownership. And here's what makes this worse. Most people assume the advice they're getting is neutral, that if someone sounds professional, uses the right words, and wears the right suit, they must be helping. But many financial advisors, loan officers, and institutional planners are not paid to build your freedom. They're paid to keep money moving through the system. to sell products, to extend timelines, to normalize long-term dependence. That doesn't mean every person is evil. It means the incentives are broken. And when incentives are broken, the advice you receive will almost always protect the institution first, and you second. Now you might be thinking, this is just how finance works. There's nothing intentional about it. But consider this. The modern banking system was designed in an era when the wealthy needed a mechanism to reliably grow capital, while keeping labor dependent on wages. A person who has savings, real savings, has options. They can quit. They can start something. They can say no. A person in debt has no options. They need the next paycheck. They stay in the job. They stay in the system. Debt is not a side effect of modern banking. Debt is the product. Banks lobby governments to keep financial education out of schools. Not because education is expensive, but because a financially educated population would borrow less, save differently, and extract far less profit for the system. In most developed countries, you can graduate high school without ever learning what compound interest is. That ignorance is worth trillions of dollars annually to the financial industry. And maybe the most dangerous part of all is that none of this feels dramatic while it's happening. There is no alarm, no breaking news, no moment where someone knocks on your door and tells you your financial future is being quietly erased. It happens in silence, in subscriptions you forgot about, in interest you stopped noticing, in payments that feel small enough to ignore, but never stop. And over 10 years, that silence becomes your life. Not because you were lazy, not because you were stupid, but because no one taught you that financial systems are built to reward ownership and punish dependency. And most people spend their entire lives inside systems they were never taught to question. That's the trap, not poverty, dependence.
Here's the uncomfortable truth. The bank is not your enemy. It is simply doing exactly what it was designed to do. The real question is, are you doing what you were designed to do? Or are you living inside someone else's design, paying someone else's mortgage, building someone else's wealth, and calling it your life? Because the people who escape this system don't do it by working harder. They do it by understanding the rules of the game and then refusing to play by them. That choice starts with information, and information starts with asking the question that most people are too comfortable to ask. Why am I still broke when I never stopped working?
So what do you actually do with this information? First, understand that awareness is the first exit. The system works because most people never question it. They accept the savings account, the credit card, the mortgage, as natural features of adult life. Like gravity, they are not natural. They are products, sold to you, and you can choose differently. Second, eliminate high-interest debt before anything else. Not investing, not savings accounts. Debt elimination first. A 24% credit card charge is a guaranteed 24% return when you pay it off. No investment on earth offers that with certainty. Third, understand the difference between where you store money and where you grow money. A savings account is not a wealth-building tool. The wealthy don't keep their money in savings accounts. They keep it in assets, things that produce income or appreciate in value. Fourth, learn what banks actually fear. Banks fear customers who pay their credit cards in full every month, who hold mortgages for short terms, who maintain no revolving debt. These customers use the banking infrastructure, but give the bank almost nothing in return. That's the profile worth building toward. The bank did not build its headquarters by helping you get wealthy. It built its headquarters from the interest on your ignorance. The moment you understand how the machine works, you stop being fuel for it, and you start being something else entirely. The system isn't broken. It's working exactly as designed. If this opened your eyes, watch this next.